Hello everyone, I'm Rob Smith, the Smith and the Black channel here at Ticker Talker, and it's finally the day, the United States general election for President of the United States, and we've been waiting for this and waiting for this, and they are running them out the chute early, as both candidates are going to win. Everybody loves them, so we'll see, but if you go to the SPY, here, one of the things we're looking at here is where are we in general. So we're starting off a new month, but we got an election coming. So we're starting off here lower middle. You're going to see this as an inside month. Once again, nowhere near taking it out either side. You're going right back to the middle, inside month. Right now, we're an inside week, but we're green on both time frames, right? So we're moving higher so far. On the 30 here, you can see they stop them out. Now, this would be another buy signal here above 337.23 because you have the two down and then back up, but we'll see. If you go to 60, we've been watching these broadening formations. You can see this. We got out of it. You can see we opened right on it and then jam up. So the question is, do we stay outside of this and keep moving higher, or do we fall back through? And now, obviously, what goes on tonight is going to have a lot to say about stuff like this. But if you follow along my videos at night, I make a video every single night. And so last night I was very clear about what we wanted to look for coming into today. All right, there's three conditions we wanted to look for. Anything that was inside on a Monday, right? An inside day. Couldn't take out the highs and lows of Friday because that's an equilibrium. So how are those going to break come on Tuesday? We also wanted to look for anybody taking out last month's lows, right? Those guys are in trouble. Everybody who bought last month goes underwater below that. Then we also want to look for anybody taking out last week's highs. And the reason we want to do that is you look at the SPY weekly here. Last week, we dumped, right? So anything taking out last week's highs, those shorts are in trouble, right? So those are the kind of things we want to look for. So on the inside days, we got Tesla, and I'm going to go to the scans here in a bit, but you got Tesla, inside day to the upside, slight gap here, right? So the question is, can you take out that weekly high? So like many things, we're going to trade them as we see them because we obviously have a big news event coming. We don't know what that's going to look like. You know, who wins? Is it contested? How does the market act either way? That's stuff we want to know about and we want to let happen, right? A lot of people out there speculating, and like, you don't have to speculate. Let them open and we know what to do. ADS here, and you can see this ADS taking out last week's highs. Bam, right? It's also taking out last month's highs, right? And so you can see this here. Here was your 2-2 reversal day in the upper left. Still going, takes all that kind of stuff out. It hits magnitude, and by that, what I mean is that you can see this. Took out last week's lows last week. Then these two become an outside bar of all this, right? Now the question is going to keep going. So we're going to look for continuation patterns, but it did what it was supposed to do. INSP. And INSP just gaps up and goes inside and inside on the 60, but you're taking out here, once again, 2-2 reversal in the week. It hits magnitude by taking all this stuff out and going into the highs, and that's where it stalls out, but we'll see if anything more comes of that. You got the REITs, AVB, and a bunch of REITs coming up here. And AVB here you can see here on the weekly. 2 down, 2 up, boom. Now these two bars are an outside bar of that. The question is going to be strong enough to come through all this stuff. So far having a nice day, off to the races, but we'll see if that sets up again. If we go to the Dow Jones, Disney. Still an inside week, but having a nice day here. Nice. What we look for here at the Strat Time Show is long red and green bars. That means things are being bought or sold aggressively. And you can see this Disney coming up here so far. If we go to Honeywell, also in the Dow, and Honeywell, you can see this on the weekly. It's a 2 down, 2 up here, right? That's what you look for. And you can see these two strong days. Now you've reached magnitude by taking all this stuff out, right? You're also taking the month out, but you can see here in the lower middle, you got some room to maybe go into new all-time highs here. You're also inside on the 60. Want to be aware about the potential of the market stalling out just because of the event that's going on. If you go to GWPH, GWPH having a nice day here, and you can see this. Boom on the lower middle, 2-2 month, 2 down, boom. Week, 2 down, boom. And having a real nice day there. It's pretty aggressive here. We'll see if we can find a way in there. And how you'd find a way in on something like this is you're inside 15 here. And then you see this, take out the high, take out the low. Boom, right here you're in. All right, that's how you get in on this stuff. You want to know how to get in on things that are moving, not sit there and go, beast mode, I'm not doing nothing. Get in there, man. Just know how to do it, right? UTHR still going after last month's 2-2. We were all over this one. And so now you can see this. If we go to 60 here, this would be a buy here if it can take this out. You see, taking out the high, taking out the low. Here in the next hour, if it can take out 136.87, you got my attention again. If we go to, that's the fat jack, little guy here, coming out of the ashes, and you can see taking out last week's highs, going after last month's highs, and you here see inside in the 60, right there. Right, that gets you in about 578 with a nice run into the sixes. Then we always watch the new 60, right? What's called the flip. Mind the flip, right at the bottom of the hour, and you can see this. Buy, 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 buy all hour, and then new hour, bring them in. So we'll see if that sets up again. If we go to Dollar Tree, and Dollar Tree say coming up on the week. So this is going to get my definitely going to get my interest here. If we can take this out, 94.91. We're almost there because it had some nice move back through a previous range here on the daily. If we go to Ride, Sally, Ride. All right, DE, inside day to the upside here. Now it's reached magnitude, and what I mean by that is once we take this out, we're going to take that and that out, right? Because this now becomes a broadening formation. So the question is, can it continue? You can see down here on the 60. Went inside on the 60 in the lower left. We'll see if there's anything more there. Inside month and week, most likely so far. LRCX. LRCX here, you can see this. Upper middle. 2 down week. Boom. Right back up. There's a reversal on the weekly above 358.19. Right? Trading 368. Nice day you got there. So we'll see if that can continue as well. You can see on the 60. New higher high, lower low. So in the next hour, I want to know about this thing over 368.44. That would be your continuation. If you go to KRTX, KRTX now coming in on the new 60 because we're always aware of the 60, but one of the few, the proud, the inside month to the upside in the middle. If we go to downside, you got EDIT. Edit, and you can see this lower left inside on the 60. This gets my attention here because the market's going higher, and yet in the upper middle, inside weak to the downside, right? 212 continuation, and getting closer to taking out that monthly low. If you go to the band, BAND, here, the band monthly taking out the lows, right? 2 up, 2 down. That's a reversal back into an old outside bar. So our magnitude's all the way down here for the band, 137.11. It's trading 150. That'll be a nice move. You can get that to go. Right now you're inside on the 60, so be aware of that. If we go to the team, team. Right here, we're watching this here. This 180.57, right? You've popped up. You're still, I'm sorry, 180.57 is what we're looking at to take that month out. You can see this broadening formation here in the upper middle. That would bring her all the way back through. If we can get this thing going on the month, that would be nice. All right, you can see the 60 having some issues, but trying to firm up just a tad. Like it wouldn't surprise me to dry up a little bit here. We are starting to come in here a little bit if you go to the QQQ. Qs up on the day, but you can see here stock. Unlike the SPY where it went through the bigger broadening formation, we're still in a lower formation here in the Qs. So the Qs still having the issues, and a lot more of the things lower over there. If you go BIIB, you're going to see this. Taking out yesterday's lows. That's a 2-2 back down reversal. That's a problem because when you have the market up as it is, and you're long this thing, you're in trouble here. Below 248.26, all right? And so you can see red on all time frames, and now you see this here, the higher high. Where's the lower low? Down here. Take it out, all right? Because we know broadening formations and outside bars exist. Once you can see that higher high, and you see, anytime this thing's going red, we're going to take out these lows, all right? Mark my words on that. ESPR. And ESPR, you can see going inside down on the 60. That's directional. And the reason we'd be watching this is we knew this all last month. The inside month to the downside now continuing, right? That's something we'd want to know about. So if we go to the scans, like I said here, you want to know how to look for things where a lot of people will be subjectively looking at chart patterns or whatnot. Now, right now, the scans that you want to be looking for, all right, move this out, are these inside and up here on the day because the market's higher. Right? You can also do the downside, but because the market's higher, you got a little more oomph to the inside days and up, right? Here, scan for volume, inside and up, right? And then what you'll see, this is how much they've moved since the opening, right? And you're going to notice Tesla and you're going to notice Nvidia. So if we take a look at that, we'll get the scan out of the way. Tesla opens there, just kind of ran out the chute. Nvidia here, now inside on the 60, and an inside day to the upside. Still inside on the month and the week, but that's an inside day to the upside, and you can watch this with the Qs and with the SMH, right? You can do that. So then if we go back to here, taking out last week's highs, right? That's what you want to look for. And you go like this, volume. Last week's highs. And then you can go down the list here to see who's really moving. JP Morgan a little bit up 45 cents, not that big of a deal. And you're not seeing too much of a move. FTCH again from yesterday. Let's take a look at FTCH. Still going, right? That's what you want to look for, because anybody who's doing that and looking at this, or short, they got what they wanted last week. The market was down, and then all of a sudden, boom, here's that 2 up, 2 down. Off to the races she goes. We'll see if FTCH still goes. We already looked at LRCX. Once again, you go through this, and you want to have good scans. We can say, okay, this is from the opening, not a gap, right? So Halo, you've got Newmont, ANET. How you doing, buddy? ANET and a nice gapper and sit, so we got to get outside of this stuff. So you can see once again that's a 2 down, 2 up reversal. Then if we go to the monthlies, here, yesterday's low, but I put it on a monthly scan, and that'll tell me who's taking out last month's lows. Volume, month lows. Then we look from the opening. You're going to see SEDGE. You're going to see ZM. You're going to see SWKS. All the stuff we want to know about, you bet it is. So if we go to SEDGE, so it's kind of stuck in here in the opening 60 range, but you can see this reversal here in the lower middle. All these guys having all sorts of trouble. ZM here, still an inside day. So that's okay. But we want to know about it, because if it closes like this, it's still a 2-2 reversal on the monthly, right? And so tomorrow you'd come in and say inside day to the downside, continuation on reconfirming the reversal on the month, and red on all time frames if it can take that out. So understanding how to scan and what to look for is very important, as opposed to trying to look at a chart pattern and say, I think this is a that, I think this is a this. It's not a Rorschach test, folks, because when people try and do that, that tells you that they're only looking at single time frame analysis, right? We don't care about patterns. We care about aggregation series. Are they hitting the bid? Are they taking the offer? What are the participants doing? Who's more aggressive? GWPH goes to the highs. You know what that tells me? The buyers are aggressive. They're taking the offer, folks. Look at that. All right. So stay on them nice long red and green bars. And yeah, well, hopefully, if you stay up tonight, you might want to get some popcorn, wear your PJs, and trade some futures, because it could be a fun one. All right, that's going to do it for today. I'm Rob Smith, the Smith the Black Channel here. Check your target with the Strat Time Report.